My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
This is like you see what the Ontario Police Department is continuously doing. This is demonic pacing. This is what the Ontario Airport is doing all day long. They're doing it on behalf of this law enforcement agency that is obsessively stalking, flying back and forth, while the people of the state are engaged in ongoing demonic pacing as well. They are, not only do they live in relevant positions, such as third party 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, California, molesting me with light while the entity flies over me by helicopter is what the entity has been engaged in. And that third party engaged in this ongoing terrorism, they live right here, right in relevant position. And they're monitoring while the Ontario Police Department fly over in relevant position. And this is evidence against that third party and everybody else in relevant position, which are the people of the state. The entity is engaged in ongoing obsessive stalking and molestation while I remain inside of the vehicle. It's 12:12 a.m. on Saturday, July 23rd, 2022. This is what the Ontario Police Department, by the way, follow me all the way to Ontario Mills, as I documented, flying over that entire massive property, which I'm going to prosecute, representing what the state of California is engaging in on a ceaseless basis. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. Here you go. And they know they're being documented. That's why everyone that I already documented, that I've captured on video, group stalking, and I'm referring to the Ontario Police Department, this is why they're going to federal prison, as I've told every single last one of those cowards to their face. While they were audacious enough to stalk in plain sight, this is why they're going to federal prison. And this is the Ontario Police Department. This is an obsessed stalker. This is evidence of what is unstable conduct, obsessive stalking. They stalk in the bathroom. This is what the people of the state are doing on behalf of that police department. It's not just going on after 12 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Okay, this is what the entity is doing ceaselessly. All right. And it is, again, let me give you the exact time where the Ontario Police Department are obsessively stalking me in a helicopter. It's 12:35 in the morning. This is P.O.C. And the people of the state, they are as alert, as present, monitoring while the entity is engaging. What is the pattern? Demonic pacing. This is what Southwest Airlines is doing. Delta Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Amazon Prime using its planes, FedEx and UPS using their planes. Frontier Airlines, this is what they're doing. Group stalking by planes, doing so on behalf of the entity that stalks in the airspace above you. This is surveillance. Group stalking is demonic activity. All right. It is, again, 12:36 a.m. This is P.O.C. 8 EEY 240, Ontario Village Shopping Center in general, 4HHS 487, Union Pacific, audible activity, right? It's occurring under the fake sun that's remaining over me. 8LDH 310, 5EEW 104. 8DLB 403, 8THE 419, 7UXA 237. The Ontario International Airport as well, flying directly over Ontario Village Shopping Center, fake sun directly over me. And of course, the Stater Brothers that's inside, 8URK 846, 6RDW 457, Penske Truck Rental. Can't see their license plate. This Old Minion parking right across the street, stalking in the path, 7KZW 125. These demons are so pathetic. 8WAB 500. It is currently, by the way, 8:33 a.m. This is P.O.C. flashing directed light inside of Stater Brothers, the same Stater Brothers that I captured the other day. The fake sun is over me at that same Stater Brothers at 646 West Hope Boulevard. This is after coming from Victoria Gardens. So this is approaching 7 o'clock, and that's where the fake sun was. That same Stater Brothers is where the fake sun is over me this morning, where the airport, where Union Pacific, where the people of the state are stalking in the path and looking in the opposite direction. Inside of Stater Brothers as well, terrorism. The entity is flashing directed light, and that's why those demons had their pictures taken and group stalking in the grocery store. And of course, they're doing that in concert with the Ontario Police Department. License 7UHT 760, 8CLL 284, 8VRR 916, 7NLK 671, and the Ontario Fire Department in the parking lot of that Stater Brothers, as I captured in still images prior to entrance. It's P.O.C. 7SQH479, 7UER254. Fake sun now over Shiro's Liquor, Isaiah Rabbit BNG Plaza, 5JBG184. 6FFP320, 8KRU811, 7JLV696, 8WOG755, and license 8UZP748, 8SFS212, 9ATV782, 7NLY565. We got a charter crossing path, and I don't see a logo on it, but I do see Carrera's Tours. You know, they're a group stalker. They're crossing path. License 62701D2. Those are probably both Carrera's Tours. One of the vehicles are covered up with an animation all over the charter, but definitely see the logo for Carrera's Tours. License 7GBH574, 7SQH479, 8HHN934, 8AWB017, 8MBU106, 7SYB, 7SYR 006, 7XOV891, 8VRL731, 8CFX516, BW83A23 paper, 8VDL250, 8ZCE503, 6WYR397, 8LJG069, 4NHC969, 7KQL792, 467DY handicap, 6NKE379, I believe, 8WFP818. Okay. 7SQG693. Again, that's 6NKE379, yeah. JMR419, that's Iowa. 6AGW521. 7RXG625, 98354U2. 6YMK104. (40877B2), 6MTX425, CMI3870. I believe that's Georgia. That's an African American male group stalking. 8PSZ692, 5GRL203.
8NHM 949, 9BEN 759, 6CNJ 741, FP 136794. That's that same Illinois plate. The small letters with the FP and the rest of the license plate. 7GBC 437. That's a senior citizen. Group stalking coming out of 280 North Lemon Apartments, a facilitating venue. 8URR 533, 6VNU 790, 6FYZ 871, 6RJU 420, 98695G3, 7BKR 538, 7ZTZ 423, 7VFD 684, 8PDC 329. It is 8:44 a.m. Alrighty, capturing the same exact pattern of conduct. The entity is stalking with commercial airline planes. So this is revealing what is public corruption. You are engaged in state surveillance and terrorism, and that's very terrorizing to follow someone around and using airplanes to do it. And again, this pattern of conduct, remember, big picture, this terrorism that is very real, group stalking, using planes, obsessed stalker, is the pattern of conduct that is supposed to result in what is the defamation of that targeted individuals. That's going directly to the prosecution of that entity engaging in such stalking tactics and terrorizing tactics. I want to point out they're doing it under the fake sun, right over the side of the Over Family Community Library, which is directly over me. Again, after driving about, it's over B&G Plaza, it's over Stater Brothers, right over my head. Stalking with the fake sun, in other words. These are demons that are in operation of commercial airline planes. In the same way, these are demons in operation of vehicles, for example, walking around, what have you. This is a demon-possessed population, and this is entirely demonic. And like I stated, with regard to documenting this pattern of conduct, this is revealing what is a very real issue, the instability of those engaging in this conduct. This is revealing what are closeted psychopaths that are in positions, for example, at facilitating venues such as the airport. They are spending their time flying whole planes repeatedly over and over again. This is revealing what is an unstable mindset. Like I said, mental institutions and federal prison is at the forefront of punishment for this pattern of conduct that is engaged in on behalf of the state, in addition to civil litigation. All right, obviously the title, and if that's not obvious to you, it needs to be. You have a massive civil litigation. You have massive civil litigation against the entity that's engaged in group stalking. And you're going to prosecute by company name. Whatever Satan, i.e. the state, is using to group stalk you, you're going to prosecute it, okay? In addition to that is that venue itself. And this is revealing what is highly unstable. Very, very unstable. They're literally engaged in flying one plane after another, and just stalking for no legitimate purpose. And you are in the specific environment. You are heavily documented. This is revealing what is, again, the personality of Satan. So this is revealing, again, for your own information, the effect of demon possession on human beings. You are revealing what are those understanding what are narcissists, if you didn't know what that is. And these are things that are in the secular, where they are not addressing the condition of those who are ticking time bombs. You're not the quote unquote mental professionals, who are minions, by the way. I'm not going to generalize everyone, but I've been around them, and those same minions working in that industry were serving the pattern of conduct. And those minions are not addressing narcissism. They're not addressing psychopath conduct. They're not addressing personality disorders, which is how you would address it in the secular. It's demonic. That's what's wrong with people. And you put it into terms and you call it a disease. I'm gonna let you know what their condition is. They got They have serious spiritual issues that you cannot see. All right, we as human beings, we try to make it something that we can see and touch and feel and speak of. And when the bottom line is that's literally what's wrong with them. And with regard to the prosecution, these are psychopaths that are flying planes. These are ticking time bombs. These are psychopaths. Very, very, very unstable. Very unstable. That's what my documentation reveals. And it's pointing directly to what is the Ontario International Airport. That's going to be addressed.
And that's going to be addressed necessarily. It's not just for my prosecution because I surrounded them with evidence, because I'm going to prosecute them civilly and criminally. It's because you're understanding once that public corruption is exposed, the condition of those engaging in it is exposed, and you're talking about for the good of society. You are addressing these mental issues, the threats that they pose. You are in every way deconstructing this system of corruption where they're terrorizing American citizens. You're going to go right to the airport. You're going to go address these company names, and you're also going to widely publicize that. That's what's relevant while the entity is flying directly, repeatedly over a senior citizen apartment complex, which is in relevant position to me, serving to perpetually create amplified audible activity in directed light and under a fake sun. Alrighty, I just want to remind you of everything you remain cognizant of as I'm continuously documenting the pattern of conduct. It's 8:57 a.m. P.O.C. This is the Ontario International Airport. I'm showing you these minions that are setting up displays. They're loitering in relevant position under the fake sun. These demons are pacing, walking next to me. You just have one demon after another that are pacing around me as I'm sitting on the side, while the airport is at the same time sending plane after plane over the senior citizen apartments, the 280 North Limit apartments, and it is currently 10:06 a.m. All right, monitoring with these demons that are pacing around on the underneath the walkway with the Ontario police. They're on bikes, group stalking inside of the parking garage, the same parking garage where the fake sun is present over after 6 p.m. 152WP handicap, 8LSM 599, 6WNH 038, 8RXA 002. That's the Ontario Police Department group stalking. City of Ontario is crossing path as well on a dumpster truck. 7VJP 689. And those demons that are the Ontario Police are on bikes, monitoring while demons are pacing around me on the side of the library, while those demons are flying over in commercial airline planes. These are a bunch of demons pacing all around. 8LIF 351, 8UWE 254, 6ZKX 436, 7DDJ 604, 8TNH 894, T1GRPWZ, and let's see, 606TA handicap, 8RJC 541. This is over at Family Community Library. This is impunity. I'm documenting this third party. This is federal prison. Police are group stalking. License 6WNH 038. License plate 8VUB 625. Openly stalking with the police. Okay, that's federal prison. 8G77616. And these minions are, again, in case you did not know, Jehovah's Witnesses, they're a bunch of minions. That's why they're engaging in demonic activity. And they're criminals also. I took pictures of them. Those are the other minions. While the entity is flying over by commercial airline planes, these are the ones setting up displays in relevant position. You already know the placement of what is a fake sun. These are minions that are going around monitoring with the police. So you can preach the word in relevant position and engaging in the pattern of conduct and find yourself in federal prison. That's what I'm speaking to. They're monitoring. It's the same exact pattern of conduct in that same exact demonic environment. And you need to know that minions are going around preaching in the name of what are Jehovah's Witnesses, just so you should pay attention to that. Anyway, like I said, that's the little jewel of wisdom. You know them by their deeds, not what they're going around preaching, right? Just for your everyday life. P.O.C. This is over at Family Community Library. All right, you have, what is the employee Drahan. These minions that are at the circulation desk, they are pacing in and out, slamming the door, literally every move that I make, and they're in direct light under the fake sun. Hi, Jan. How's it going? It's Jan, right? Gianna, right, sorry. And we've got Yesenia and Jessica and Carlos. They've been here, hi, since this morning at entry where the fake sun is directly over me, and you have directed light over, it's not even over the elevator case, it's over the bookcase. And it's moved since the last image that I took. I'll take another one. These demons are slamming the door. It's a maintenance of noise and engineered light. This is terrorism. It's also harassment. It's absolutely psychotic. And these are demons that are sitting at a circulation desk inside of a facilitating venue. Securitas, the third party, the Caucasian female whose license plate I've recited on more than one occasion. Group stalking with Drahan, who's in relevant position. Monitoring with these demons that are engaging in surveillance at the computers. Number 22. That would be number 17. Number 4. Number 10. Group stalking sitting on one of the cubicles with no number on it. They're all sitting around, first of all, with multiple shadows, crooked shadows. I'm showing you the light activity. Are you aware of this? I just want to document the ongoing monitoring. The entity also, while you're listening to me speak with, well, actually, I didn't document that. I asked Dahan a question, and while I'm standing at the circulation desk, this demon is speaking to me while directed light is flashing. All right, and this is that is a demon where that environment is present, and doing so in operation of communication devices. And the people of the state that are group stalking inside of the venue, they are fully engaged in the P.O.C. They're engaged in psychotic level stalking and monitoring and pacing around with the employees here. All right, these freaks are literally slamming doors. I mean, second by second by second, every move that I make, trying to obstruct my ability to upload files onto my phone or onto the internet. And all those minions that you see, they're sitting at a circulation desk smiling, hi. And they're demon-possessed psychopaths. They know what I'm doing across the room, stalking with noise, which is the demonic behavioral pattern. They're also using the door right here that's for the children's area, slamming that door. Just speaking to where I'm at, I'm on computer number 11. And the entity is keeping directed light inside of the venue, and the fake sun, as I already showed. Reference my documentation where I'm showing you the fake sun over me at 8:46 a.m., 1:33 p.m. The entity's fake sun remains as I exit after 6 p.m. This is the same address, 215 East C Street, the Ovid Family Community Library. An impossible occurrence, speaking to what are demons that are standing around on standing around the DVD cases, focused on me. So you need to understand in your mind what is prosecution for terrorism. This is psychopath conduct. There are a bunch of sickles altogether, and the entity is engaging in even more so hovering conduct. The more that I document, the more that I expose, the more that these demons obsessively surround. And that's what you're doing, sitting at the computers around. You're group stalking. Okay, your shadow is leaning to the left and the right. You have multiple shadows, and you're literally making noises, anything that they can do with regard to what a demon knows I'm doing. You're a psychopath, all right? So anyway, I just want to document that. It is currently 3:40 p.m. You got demons pacing back and forth. And I'm referencing the surveillance cameras as well. This is P.O.C. All right, just as a reminder, I'm showing you at 3:40 p.m. It's quite a long time from 10:29 in the morning where I'm this entity at 10:29 a.m. on June 16, 2022. This entity engages in what is, again, criminal defamation, the criminal assertion of false allegations, harassment and terrorism, molestation with directed light, which is a sex offense, while they are monitoring under the fake sun at 10:29 a.m. over the entrance of this address, 215 East C Street, which is Ovid Family Community Library. These demons are under a fake sun, which is directly over my head while I'm standing inside of this same address. That's where you're looking at this white-faced, buck-toothed minion. He is going by the name of Alan. He's the same one you see group stalking. The same one I documented engaging in group stalking and molestation with directed light with the City of Ontario, criminal defamation, monitoring criminal summoning with the Ontario Police. He so boldly does this on June 16, 2022. He's group stalking with this minion sitting at the circulation desk across from me in alignment to me, in other words, in directed light, which I'm capturing in images. He is the one with the cap on in the background. This little demon walks up. This is the female with shorts on. She's group stalking. The entity is engaging in ongoing stalking with noise. These demons are pacing around, slamming doors repeatedly, while they are mimicking or mirroring my activity on my phone, mirroring my activity on the internet, and any sort of physical movement, even bodily functions. You're dealing with Satan, so this is what they're doing. And this is Alan. I want to be clear. I captured clearly the fake sun over my head through the window above the staircase. Not only is that not the sun, period. That's why I went to the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. That's why I went to the Paul Bynum Library. That's why I went to Chino, California, and I'm showing you that's not the sun that's over me, while those demons of the Ontario Police Department are group stalking at the, and these demons of the Ovid Family Community Library. Everyone that's sitting at the desk, Gianna, Carlos, Yesenia, Jessica, also Alan, and you have Drajon, you have the lily white minion that works for Securitas, the old white woman, and she is
Group stalking also inside of the venue in the name of Securitas. Okay, Securitas is engaged in it, and that third party by her own name, whatever it is. She's a group stalker. That's her name. She's a third party. That's what her name is for right now. They are monitoring, and they are doing so engaging in the very demonic pattern that I'm speaking to. That's why they are slamming doors. It's audible activity and engineered light. And they're facilitating this highly demented conduct, which is harassment by psychotic freaks who are stalking you, that is following you with noise creation while you're being molested with light that isn't even naturally occurring. It's not even naturally occurring. This is all out of the pit of hell, and it's occurring inside of a venue that's not operating any legitimate business. So I want to be clear. I want to add the name again. You have Allen, that's his name, who was in relevant position group stalking with these minions that are pacing forward and backwards, because that's what they're doing. They are the demon possessed want to outwardly on the surface in the flesh and blood, which is what you are looking at. They want to appear as though they're normal. Somebody's walking up, asking a question. Oh, then somebody behind the desk answers their question. Oh, they'll even get up and go to the computer or go to the printer over there with you. And what actually is going on is these are demon possessed individuals, and they are pacing back and forth. Okay, pacing back to the desk, pacing back to your place of origin. This is demonic pacing and engineered light. It's demonic activity, and they are doing everything that they're doing, meaning this demon gets up and goes and asks a question. This demon remains at that desk, loitering in relevant position in directed light, in operation of communication devices the whole time, while also the entity engages in the tendency to flash directed light, while a fake sun remains over the venue and aiming concentrated directed light, and they all have multiple shadows. The ongoing engagement of what is psychopath conduct occurs in the background ceaselessly. Slamming of doors, all right, loud bookshelves that these demons drag around inside, all right, while they're pacing all around. It is all based on what I'm doing. And that's what I mean by everything that these demons are doing is based on me. It's all focused on me. That's not a compliment. That's called terrorism. Absolutely psychotic conduct. And they're doing it while they know they're being documented. These are the same demons, Jessica, Carlos, Jana, Drahon, Allen, etc., that have engaged in repeated acts of criminal summoning and are still to this day continuing that pattern of conduct. That's an impermissible threat. This is another day of documentation serving for what is federal prison. They are also stalking with the Ontario Police Department, who are outside of the walls of this venue, monitoring while these demons pace around in engineered light and stalk with audible activity like psychopaths. Okay? It is currently 4:09 p.m. and so that's what I'm referencing. You're looking at this at 3:40 p.m. The fake sun is directly over my head while I'm inside of 215 E.C. Street. The sun would never be present over me at 8:46 in the morning or over the entrance of the same building, 215 E.C. Street, at 10:29 in the morning, and 3:40 p.m. it's directly over my head while I'm inside of the same address. And that's just an example, because you also know it's not going anywhere as I capture it directly in the same position in alignment with me at the same address after 6 p.m., after 6:40 p.m. All right, this is P.O.C. It is currently 4:26 p.m. and so the entity that is monitoring documentation, this is again the prosecution of the people of the state. The people of the state are group stalking inside of Over Family Community Library, and the entity is repeatedly flashing directed light. I'm sitting at computer number 11, and so the entity is this. These are hostile demons, and this is how a hostile entity, this is satanic, all right? This is how a hostile entity, in other words, a stalker that's mad at you because you've proven that they're stalkers, that they're psychopaths, and they're demons. All of this is proven. The entity is repeatedly molesting and flashing, in other words, terrorizing with flashing directed light. I want to be clear, at the front is Gianna, as you heard, Carlos, Yesenia, Jessica. In here is Drahan, Nikki, and Alan. These demons are going to be prosecuted for that. The entity is monitoring my documentation and then repeatedly engaging in it. This is just harassment in a satanic method. Satan will engage in what is molesting you with directed light, while Satan is hostile to the fact that you're documenting it. Okay, and Satan's minions are surrounding me inside of the venue, group stalking, criminally monitoring. I'm at computer 11 and it's 4:27 p.m. These are demons stalking in the bathroom. Fake sun is captured over the same address, 215 E.C. Street. It's 5:05 p.m. This is federal stalking by entity in the private space.
It is currently 7:06 p.m. and I remain at the same address, 215 E.C. Street in Ontario, California, which is the Ovid Family Community Library. We're seated on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library where I was this morning, showing you what is the light source that is not possibly the sun. This is the fake sun that's over my head at this same address. And as I exit at around 6 p.m., this is where the fake sun is over my head, and I capture an image of it over my head as I'm on the side of the same address. This is after 6 p.m. The entity is keeping this light source at that same address where I'm showing you. It's appearing as though it's over the parking garage, which is right in front of 215 E.C. Street. And I'm taking pictures of what is patrolling conduct. This is demonic activity, and it's demonic activity that's underway via airplanes. And this is relevant positioning, audible activity. The entity is amplifying plane activity as though a plane is taking off over the apartment complex, the senior citizen apartment complex. It is the P.O.C, and you're looking at the frequency because I took multiple pictures, and you're looking at one plane seconds later, and I mean maybe 25 seconds later, another plane, and you talk maybe 30 seconds later, another plane. It's Southwest Airlines, and right now another plane at 7:06 p.m. And I'm just giving you an example of what I'm documenting right now. The entity is ceaselessly group stalking by plane. But I'm just pointing out what it is that I've captured in my still images. The Ontario airport is repeatedly flying over the senior citizen apartments seconds apart with commercial airline planes, and I'm also capturing at 7 p.m. what is the fake sun, seen as I am standing at 215 E.C. Street on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library where I stood this morning, where I have captured the fake sun on many occasions, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, just like I did today. It was the fake sun is over me. And I just want to remind you, when I left this venue after this entity engaged in assault, that little minion that was driving the two-door red, I think it was a Mercedes, and he's parked in directed light right in front of the shaded area in front of the Ovid Family Community Library. I'm taking pictures of what is the illuminated asphalt. The fake sun is over the parking garage, but it's all shade. But it's still nonetheless at that same address, 215 E.C. Street, where he is group stalking, and then he engages in what is an assault, trying to take my phone, an assault and battery, actually. He contacted me, he touches me, engaging in what is threat, criminal defamation. And if you didn't pay attention to that assault, that third party, which is not a coincidence, the fake sun remains over me as we go to Ontario Mills. And the fake sun at 7 p.m. is over me at Ontario Mills. It is not going to be over the parking garage at 215 E.C. Street. Even if I didn't go to the Ontario Mills, the sun is not going to remain at the same address, 215 E.C. Street, from, let's just say, 8:46 in the morning until after 6 o'clock in the evening. Which, again, you know that this is the case, this is the pattern of conduct, because that's why I'm standing inside of this address of 215 E.C. Street in Ontario, and at 3:40 p.m. the fake sun is directly over my head as I'm looking at the window above the staircase. Okay, none of this is the sun. This is where the Ontario International Airport is, seconds apart. 25 to 30 seconds, one plane, and another plane. That's demonic. The entity, you're talking about what's an airport engaging in demonic activity. And it's occurring in a demonic environment, and it is serving what is group stalking. That's what the International Airport is. Ontario International Airport is engaging in. And it's facilitating conduct while this ongoing maintenance of plane activity is occurring. The demon-possessed, the people of the state, are pacing all around me. They maintain presence all around. In other words, I'm surrounded by demons. I'm surrounded by a government that's monitoring me with communication devices. And that's exactly what I'm capturing in images. And so that's everything you're cognizant of. No, the sun is not present over, even if I did not go to Ontario Mills, but let's just remember, the entity is keeping a fake sun over me on the freeway where I'm documenting, taking pictures of license plates. And by the way, that same third-party license plate that engaged in assault and battery is exiting on Milliken as I am arriving at the Ontario Mills, where the fake sun is out the passenger side of my window, which I take a picture of. Pay attention to my documentation. I captured that on purpose. These very much are group stalkers and demons, and I'm going to drag them for the stalkers and the psychopaths that they are, including those that are stalking and monitoring with airplanes. All right, shown to be the psychopaths, which they shall be known around the world. Okay, this demented pattern of conduct in service of Satan, engaging in what is criminal. All right, and in unprecedented, unfathomable manners. The fake sun is clearly captured as I captured, and I captured so many license plates. That's why the Ontario Police Department, literally gave me more evidence against those third parties, not that I needed it. When the Ontario Police flew over that Ontario Mills by helicopter a few hours later. But nonetheless, I'm standing in that parking lot, and the fake sun is over me at the Ontario Mills. It's not over some parking garage at 215 E.C. Street.
And you also know that because it's common sense. The sun's not going to be at the same address. That lets you know there's no sun in San Francisco at any time of the day. At any time of the day, let alone in Texas or in Nevada or in New York or in Florida or in Idaho or in Mississippi or in Louisiana. All right. You're understanding what is the reality of the environment, and we're surrounded by an unnatural environment, something that is not surrounded by scientific facts. And it's demonic what people are doing in that environment. And that's why you were lied to about it. Because my evidence is speaking to how you know exactly what's over your head while you're looking at the sun, at the sky. And it's, as I've called it, a fake sun. It is currently 7:11 p.m. and this is documentation of what is the Ontario International Airport engaged in. This is P.O.C. It is currently 8:31 p.m. and I remain on the side of the Over Family Community Library. This is where the Ontario Police Department films helicopter activity. And I want to be clear, this is satanic, so I'm going to make sure I constantly reiterate the nature of what I'm documenting. It's not just criminal. This is demonic activity. These are demons. These are the demon-possessed. So in other words, the entity's stalking methods with helicopters, and this is a corrupt police agency, they're not just stalking, meaning they're not coming from somewhere in a helicopter when they're flying over me or when I hear helicopter activity. Those demons remain stalking me all day and all night. Okay, but I want to document at 8:30 p.m. Coincidentally, psych. Okay, nothing's a coincidence in direct light and under a fake sun, right? The entity does so. First of all, sounding helicopter activity. The moment that Tracy Banks arrives to pick me up, right? She's already in relevant position monitoring while the entity is sounding helicopter activity. Again, her license is 4WO 432. She's monitoring with the people of the state. That's a psychopath engaging in this pattern of conduct against her own flesh and blood. All right. So anyway, but the entity does so coincidentally after I examine my YouTube channel where I uploaded that video, which Satan doesn't like the fact that I uploaded that documentation. But I do want to document 8:30 p.m. helicopter activity. That's the Ontario Police Department. It's P.O.C. 6PZ 4031, I believe. License 32922E1. These demons are lining the path, driving up G Street. And then this is after leaving the Over Family Community Library. You just have these third parties are just lining the street with light activity. And this is just surrounding with flashing light. This is state surveillance. This is the entity that's stalking. They all know what vehicle I'm in, and they're on both sides of the road, lining the path with light activity. That third party is monitoring with them. It is currently 8:40 p.m. 7ACJ 301. Light activity at McDonald's. License 78 and F630. That's Martin Brower. That's a commercial vehicle at McDonald's, in directed light and creating light activity. 5ZOF 015. This is McDonald's monitoring. 8HCV 200, stalking in the path, meaning remaining in front of the vehicle of the drive-thru. And again, the form of this is, this demon is waiting for McDonald's to bring out their meal. They're group stalking in the path. This MB, Martin Brower, is maintaining light activity on the side of the drive-thru, and this is exactly what third parties are doing the entire route from the library down G Street to Mountain Avenue, stalking with light activity. This is a commercial actor using a company to engage in state surveillance and terrorism. And again, the entity sounding helicopter activity as I leave. They're always stalking by helicopter. You already know what everybody's doing. I'm breaking down their surveillance conduct, and this is impunity. And this is speaking to the ways in which you're going to prosecute an entity. And I have a vast pool of defendants. 8HCV200. The people of the state are preparing the food while they're monitoring you. I want to be clear, and demonstrating this impunity. This is what I like to continue to point out to you. Martin Brower, US.148192, MC173515. Alrighty, this third party representing Martin Brower, engaging in light activity creation. The front license 2703093, and that's Indiana. It is currently, again, wow, he's about to get ran over. It's 8:45 p.m. at McDonald's on Mountain Avenue. 6GNZ051 is molesting with this sex offender, 8SHG133. This is the gas station on Mountain Avenue in Ontario at 808 Mountain Avenue. 8XYY958 is also molesting. and they are, again, in direct light. I'm taking pictures. You can see my shadow. It's fanned out in front of me. 4 shadows, 2 on my left, 2 on my right. Stalking with light activity again, 6GNZ 051. 98EU 569, JC 508, handicap. License 8KDR 156. All right, again, that is license 01046G3. 8U91126. It's called Speedway Express. It's formerly an Arco. It's at Mountain and H Street. H as in Henry. A bunch of demons crowding up at that gas station, hovering around in directed light, maintaining light activity, pacing all around, maintaining presence. That's all they're doing. Group stalking at gas stalls. All right, and this is what they're doing, sitting in a library all day long, stalking in directed light. License. Let's see. It is 8:51 p.m. 6YJG909, 8KQH196, and they're part of that same molesting conduct. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. It's 8:51 p.m. All right, capturing images. The female that you see, this is a demon, and she's engaging in, again, demonic activity, which I'm documenting in relevant position outside of her house, which is a facilitating venue, where the police are flying over by helicopter and over her house, where the entity is placing the fake sun over her house, where the patches of directed light that I've documented molesting me on her house. She is engaging in the pattern of conduct while you see her outside of her vehicle. The entity is flashing directed light in the back of my car, and she is also flashing directed light, molesting me while she drives beside the car, and then as she's getting out, flashing directed light is occurring inside of the back seat of the car. Substantial light activity, impossible light activity. And then you see the psychopath walks right into the venue that is 325 West G Street. This is the psychopath, this is the sex offender, this is the terrorist, and I have ample documentation of exactly what she is, while the police department has been engaged in a prolonged pattern of group stalking at her venue, the Ontario International Airport group stalking at her venue, and she's fully engaged in that. Directed light on her house, which is the identification of a venue. 6YOX838, in doing so with, again, a minor child who's getting out of the passenger seat. They're engaging in group stalking and monitoring, terrorizing, and she's doing it with the minor, and she walks right into her house. And these are psychopaths that engage in it, and they don't address you. They're walking by. These are demons that engage in that, and they're fully stalking you and focused on you, and you know this through the environment that they're in. It is currently 9:50 p.m. and this is the exact demon that I'm referencing as I'm capturing video after video. And that psychopath, that's the conduct that results in what is mental institutions. Removing such children from possession of the demon possessed who engage in that very conduct that I'm documenting, while the Ontario Police Department is on an ongoing basis for a prolonged period, engaging in what is stalking and group stalking and monitoring with the people of the state, demonic activity, and the Ontario Police Department. So this is what I'm capturing in still images. She's crossing paths. She's walking in directed light. I've shown you the light activity where my shadow is surrounding me. I've shown you the directed light moving across up to the top of this venue where this demon walks into the venue of 325 West G Street. That's where she's walking. She's crossing path, group stalking while she's driving her vehicle, getting out of her vehicle, and everything she's doing is engaging in elements of monitoring. I want to specifically document that's the exact third party that I'm referencing while I'm prosecuting that demon while she sits inside of the walls of that venue. All right, that's called impunity. 6YOX838. This is P.O.C. 21209C2 5JCP901 BSDNA77 8DXE180 7CVF583 7JJM385 6LEW978 6JIH074 4XEZ709 1C53471 6XVE193 7JHZ975 8ZTG782 6XXT119 6225 9P2 7RXZ919 6WOK082 7ATU947 6FQB472
8WMM705, 7BTJ448, 87246P2. 8WYH469, 4ZAY638, 8RXB955, 8MLF125, 7LGK877, 9ABR948, 8MCN247, 9BCV879, 8TPA113, 8XXE456, 8JZG293, 6BXG477, 5FWM174, 6GCX055, 8XRY264, 6MCZ211, 6GCX055, 6DIT768, 5FJU394, because I don't know that one, 91744L1, I believe. Yeah, 91744L1, 8BHT917, 8EGT973, FedEx molesting 66175D3, and you see the fake sent over me. 8TCB771, understand FedEx goes out of its way to drive on this street to engage in that molestation, which is demonic. And I'm going to sue that company civilly and criminally for that. That's a demon that's using companies, the people of the state, utilizing commercial means to engage in surveillance. And I'm showing you the fake send that's right here over me at this address, no longer over 325 West G Street, 7UNM470. And that's where FedEx is driving. The address that I'm standing in front of, where you'll see the fake send moving as I'm walking around. And that's why FedEx is driving at this location. And that's why directed light is occurring while FedEx is crossing path, and impossible light activity touching on my person. That's a sex offense by FedEx. And that's the exact intention behind FedEx engaging in that, understand. This is the fury of a bunch of demons, and those demons are going to be held accountable civilly and criminally for that criminal conduct that they engage in while they're group stalking, and FedEx is a group stalker. They also use their planes engaging in group stalking as the people of the state. California license 1008312. This is a license plate on 8EGT973, the commercial name of Armor Plumbing Company, 7MNY541, engaging in the same demonic conduct as FedEx. All right, directed light while they're crossing path, 91744L1, and this is the people of the state. This is exactly what I'm identifying. This is what the this exact entity that I'm identifying, including FedEx, including Armor Plumbing Company, the people of the state at 616 Vine Avenue. They were engaged in all night long, in addition with the third party with her underage minion with whom she's molesting me while I'm inside of a car. She's engaging in terrorism with her children. That's how that's documented. And all night long, they engaged in an ongoing repeated molestation, just like FedEx engaged in right now. AGPV 262, while I'm inside of a vehicle, while the windows are covered up. That's why it has nothing to do with the sun. It has nothing to do with what our headlights, even as the windows are covered up, it's the act of the demonic while demons are pacing all around me in vehicles, and light is piercing through the car from the back to the front, moving all around on top of on my person. This is terrorism. It's a sex offense, and it's underway while demons know exactly where I'm at. And this is also where the Ontario Police Department have been documented stalking by helicopter. License BW51A42, direct light across the Armor Plumbing Company vehicle while that demon crosses path. All right, they're monitoring. And this is what they've been doing all night long. I'm reading more names because they're going to be prosecuted for that ongoing terrorism that 325 West G Street was engaging in as I was in front of that vehicle, that minion's venue, 8MCZ211, which she knows. That's why when she's in front and just merely stepping out of a car, substantial directed light is flashing inside of the back seat of the car that I'm inside of, while the windshield is covered. By the way, that's not light that's ever going to occur under any circumstances, just engaging in that ordinary act. This is a demon that's targeting you. And what you'll see in the picture is that demon is with a child acting as though she's focused on something else. 8XDC636, as though she's a normal person and she's not. That's a demon. And she lives at 325 West G Street, where I showed you inside of the car, where I captured on my podcast last night. That's exactly where the fake son is present as well. That's also the proof of what she is. And that demon is in the custody of minor children with whom she engages in terrorizing and molesting and group stalking another, with knowledge of the fact that she's being documented, which speaks to the threat that she poses to minors with whom she's obviously training to engage in this sick sort of conduct against American citizens, against other people. And this is the same exact conduct that FedEx is engaging in while I'm walking down the street. And the fake son is clearly nowhere near the Ovid Family Community Library while FedEx is crossing path, targeting me just like this entire entity was targeting all night last night. It's a ceaseless pattern of conduct. So FedEx is doing what the entity was doing all night and what is continuously doing. FedEx prosecuted for that same exact ongoing ceaseless sex offense. This is the conduct of demons. All right. And so that's what I'm specifying. And I did go out of my way to capture the fake son right before FedEx crosses path and engages in that act of terrorism and that sex offense, molesting with directed light. The fake son is over me. FedEx crosses path. Molestation with directed light is what has occurred. And FedEx goes out of its way again to drive by me to engage in that act. 8JAK733. 8NGV347, 6PVA298, 7BXR845, 6FCS364, 7YWF781, 93196N1, 7DTD008, 8FSA959, 7MBL111, 6HKY477, 8WBA098, and these are all, again, this is a demon-possessed population. They're all engaged in the same exact conduct, and that's why I can go to somewhere like Victoria Gardens or Ontario Mills or Los Angeles. It doesn't matter where I go. You have the same impossible conduct. When you are driving on the street, light is not ricocheting and moving all across the vehicles that are parked on the street. That's what they're doing. They're demons that are stalking with light activity. This is engineer light, and these are demons who are stalking me. Every single last third party's license plate that I'm reading, that's what's going on, including FedEx. 8FFA886. Those are demons. License 7HWU243. 941655H3, 6HNT551, 8W00411, and they're also going to be prosecuted as the sex offenders that they are, stalking me, monitoring, engaging in a molestation all night with third party residing at 325 West G Street, 8UQK949, 8EEY240, 4TKX995, 8KGV370. Let me show you the fake son that's now over the 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine Avenue. That is the impossible placement of the light source, and I'm taking pictures of that. It's at 10:06 a.m. If you recall, I'm already at the Ovid Family Community Library showing you images of that fake sun that remains on the side, and then at the entrance as I'm there, that is not over this entrance of 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine, nor over 616 Vine Avenue where FedEx is molesting me with directed light. This is the pattern of conduct. It's the ability to identify the condition of those who are in that environment. Those who are in that environment are group stalking. The condition of those that are in that environment are demon possessed. Demon possession, as you will then dwindle down even more to the details, are those operating commercial vehicles, flying commercial airline planes, group stalking, terrorizing, sexually violating. BN5J132, I believe. That's a paper plate. Substantially similar. And that's the breakdown of that. And that's how I'm capturing that environment, that FedEx and, again, 325 West G Street, where that demon lives in relevant position is the identification. It's a means of documentation, and that's why directed light is occurring inside of the vehicle while she's merely stepping out of hers, and a psychopath that's looking in opposite direction while they're targeting you. 7ZXP738. That's the very conduct as I spelled it out last night as it's occurring. That winds you that results in what is necessarily a mental institution, separating them from the minor children whom they are training in the way of wicked and demented and unstable conduct. 7WFY973.
because that's exactly what that is when you're molesting somebody, group stalking with children in the car with you. 7GVJ538. Molesting with directed light, look in the opposite direction, talking to your kids while you're molesting somebody else. BW51A42 paper, 8XRY264, that's instability. They do the same thing while the entity is stalking by helicopter, just chit-chatting with their kids like nothing is. This is an unstable population. It's the same thing with those that are flying the helicopters and airplanes stalking you. Unstable. This is demonic. 5SDD203, 7CMB432, 7LQH133. All right, criminal summoning, 7WHU692. I'm at 522 Vine Avenue. I'll show you the fake sun. 8TTA664 is engaged in criminal summoning as well. And so is this demon engaged in loitering in relevant position, 8FLE557. You'll see the fake sun, which is right over me at 520 Vine Avenue. And loitering in relevant position, you'll see them at the fake sun is over me at 520 Vine Avenue. The fake sun's right over that house, nowhere near the Ovid Family Community Library. And again, that's nowhere near any of the venues where I've documented the P.O.C. This is speaking to a demon that's engaged in criminal surveillance, and that's 7MON064. You're looking at a demon that's engaged in the ominous pattern of conduct of stalking, sitting in their vehicle, headlights on toward me in perfect alignment with me, while the fake sun remains over me. And other demons are molesting with directed light. A demon is stalking in the path. That's what this third party is doing. And by the way, they've been there. I'm reading the FedEx license plates. They've been loitering the entire time, okay? License plate 7Y10467. They are a part of that same sex offense. But so is 7MGK850 and 34990E2. 7MON064 is engaged in criminal summoning. They're sitting around engaging in stalking, aiming light in your direction. You can hear their group stalking sitting in their car. Because I want you to hear that. They're under the fake sun, aiming their light, covering up their windshield, and group stalking. I don't need to see their face. This is P.O.C. That's a demon. License 67808H3. I will show you the fake sun right here, because they're going where they belong. I'm going to put them right where they belong with the demons that are operating FedEx vehicles and molesting. License 8YAE284, and they're also engaged in criminal summoning, so that's also grounds of federal prison. All right, but nonetheless, 7MON064 is documented. License 6VIH735, and they were all night long engaging in molesting my person. Directed light, all right, inside of a vehicle with all the windows covered up, molestation. AETA132, just like they're doing now. They're a surface where other demons are crossing paths, driving by their vehicle, directed light moving all across their vehicle. They're group stalking. This is demonic. 23653B3. You're also analyzing what is impunity while they remain there continuously stalking, and this demon knows that you're documenting them. That's going against them when they're prosecuted as well. License plate 7ANY463, 4XKT824, 6UFG841, 5AQG965, 6FPH907. So what you're going to pay attention to with the documentation that I'm gathering now, this is the entity that was engaged in all night long with 325 East G Street, 630 North Fern Avenue, where I'm inside of the vehicle with the license plate 4WON432, and this entity knows that. It is stalking me 24 hours a day, aiming what is directed light all night long on the roof of the car, through the center of the car, literally like laser beams of light moving through the center of the car, touching, swirling it all around, focusing that light on whatever direction it is that I'm looking. This is what Satan is doing. This is terrorism, and it is also a sex offense. Satan is touching you and doing so in an impossible manner. But for a documentation showing and already establishing that directed light is a fact, that conduct is what's supposed to result in the defamation of the targeted individual, which is entirely unjust. And that's why I'm documenting, because these third parties are going to be held accountable for that. It's not anonymous criminal conduct. That's why I'm up in the morning and the fake sun is over me, moving all about over my head, and documentation is already established that this is the unnatural environment. I will be prosecuting this same exact entity that engaged in that terrorism overnight, including 325 West G Street. That minion that lives at that venue. It's 8RHN245. That's how that evidence is going to be used. 6FPH907, 7GSV620, 7D93735, 8TOE645, 8JUN811. And as you hear third parties driving by, that's that ongoing obsession. As they are crossing paths, these are demons who know they're being documented. They are stalking.
obsessively. And that's exactly what they're doing while I'm inside of a vehicle, obsessively all night long. And imagine that, the thousands and thousands of demons that are driving by your car and impossible light activity streaming all through the vehicle. Okay? Because they're a bunch of mad minions. 8B, I can't really see that one. 8BM2441, I believe. 5CFK584. And this is how demons are harassing you. 8E33843, 7SMB519, 8UKA748, 8FZF767, 8JUN811, 6TAC334. These demons are pacing. 6GQW620. License HIYAH. You don't have a legal argument when the fake sun is captured directly over your house, when direct light is occurring while demons are driving by me, while I'm outside of your house, you're facilitating venue, you are a group stalker, you were documented engaging in a sex offense and terrorism all night long. 5ZZP217, the entity engaging in that conduct, which the target individual is merely documenting. And by the way, when you're documenting the P.O.C, it's already known what the entity is doing. It's demonic. This is why I'm telling you about it. The P.O.C includes, at all times, the specific environment directed light. All I'm doing is telling you about the ways in which the entity is terrorizing with directed light. Oh, they're aiming it inside of a car where these demons know where I'm at. And I'm documenting by names because I'm going to prosecute specifically. The entity that acts as a group is not engaging in any anonymous criminal conduct, meaning you can act with a bunch of thousands of demons all you want, which is what they're doing all night long, even as I'm sleeping. I'll get up in the morning and I'll document more names and I will prosecute you for that. You're the same exact group. Those demons sitting inside of the Ovid Family Community Library who I'm taking pictures of, and I'm posting them on my website because I want you to see the minions that work there, the minions that are sitting in a library all day. This is what they're doing with their life, engaging in surveillance. They're all monitoring me. A whole bunch of demons filling that venue, filling that building, stalking all day long. They're just keeping tabs on me, engaging in surveillance. Those demons whose faces you see, these are the demons that are just hopping in cars and crossing paths with directed light. It's the same entity. First of all, they're the same public entity. It's the state of California, first of all. And it's also the same demon-possessed entity. It's a different face. Same exact entity. You've seen them already. They're already published on my website. I am gathering more names, however, because there is no such thing as anonymous criminal conduct where group stalking is underway. 8XET424 has a fake sun over their venue right now. They are group stalking, and they were documented last night stalking and monitoring while I'm inside of a vehicle where the entity is molesting with directed light, and you don't have a legal argument because the sun's nowhere near the Ovid Family Community Library. It's irreconcilable. It's the identification of what is a system which you are inextricably tethered to, and there's no legal argument for it. All right. This is currently, let me see, 8JIN760, 8BHF287, and that's also why, even as I document, directed light remains, the fake sun remains, molestation ongoing. You don't have any legal argument. This is how you're going to prosecute. And this is, license 8ETA132, that demon is pacing up and down the street. 8BHF287, I read, and 7KAR670, I believe. This is balancing the scales. An entity that thinks that they're going to bully you. No, you're not bullying anybody. You're going to be bullied with a federal prosecution. You can be bullied with federal charges, all right? And first of all, placed into the institutions they belong in. They really, truly belong there. That's why I show you the faces of the very unstable. I want you to see the video documentation. It's not enough for me to describe it. 8ZMH112. It's not enough. I want you to see the environment. There's no arguing about what it is. All right, they're in an unnatural environment. They are engaging in unnatural conduct. They are engaged in entirely unstable stalking conduct as a people. And group stalking is where you have the fake sun over 414 and 414.5 Vine Avenue at what is 10:17 a.m. And I can name multiple cities where I'm at the same time where there is no sun ever. At this, and I'm nearest the intersection of D Street and Vine Avenue, where demons, as I read all their license plates, molesting with directed light. They're just adding on to their own prosecution. PPA 574, because the reason why that's ongoing is because it is absolutely appropriate that 8JIN 760 be documented as the demon that they are, speaking to what is group conduct, a part of that same molestation and terrorism that was underway ceaselessly outside of 325 West G Street and 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, California. And that's why a fake sun is over 414 Vine Avenue at this time. 8JCP733, recall my location in Chino, California. I'll give you one of that. How about that? 10:18 a.m. where I'm inside of the parking lot and the fake sun is over my head in Chino, California, Mary Margaret Catholic Church. There is no reconciling that. That is not anywhere near 414 Vine Avenue in Ontario. But there's also no light that's ever going to ricochet from your car when you're merely driving down the street. Those are demons. And those demons are engaging in conduct for which the entire entity is going to be paying for it. FedEx, for example, engaging in that conduct, demonstrating their demon possession. FedEx, again, establishing that they are terrorists. They are not an asset to the union. That company shall cease to exist. You're not too big. Your name is not too big. You are a harm. You are a threat. You're a liability. Molesting my person under the fake sun, it's a scientific fact. You're intentionally crossing path to molest me in that specific environment. You know exactly where I'm at, FedEx. And you're a terrorist. That's the reality of what that company is engaging in, and that's exactly what they're doing. Directed light is established as an ongoing fact. I've already shown that. License 1829 N3, substantially similar. That's that loud truck. They want to create audible activity. They're crossing path. So this is what I'm capturing at 414 Vine Avenue at the nearest intersection of D Street, where the fake sun is over me. And that's just speaking to where I'm at in Chino, California, where I'm documenting my presence, where I remain. And I've documented this being inside of the Open Family Community Library, the fake sun, over at 1018, I believe. And the fake sun is in the same position that I captured, by the way, at 3:40 p.m. yesterday inside of that Open Family Community Library, over that same window. I took a picture of that. Okay. Yeah, I did that. So 10:19 a.m., 10:18 a.m., and 3:40 p.m., it's over the window of the staircase inside of the Open Family Community Library. But right now at 10:17 a.m., it's over me at 414 Vine Avenue. Yeah, that's not the sun. So these minions on this street, including this Caucasian minion in operation of her communication device, group stalking where she lives, is engaging in that P.O.C. And let me show you the fake sun to be clear. Alrighty, license 8TML526. 6JXA789, 8CHD 838. Directed light while I'm walking with, so let me show you this directed light as well. Yeah, capturing impossible light activity. This is the light that they concentrate into vehicles. Directed light is stationary. Directed light is also dynamic. All right, it's demonic conduct. 8RZS678. 7DCP999 is the vehicle that this minion is sitting on. Oh, excuse me, 7DCP998. 7MNU256, 7RDL118. And this is, I'm approaching Fern Avenue. I believe this would probably be F Street. Or E Street, actually. 5MNU256, 8LAA521, 7WQM289. 99339V1, 22568E3. Yeah, this is E Street, and I'm approaching Fern. So I'm on Vine, is where I was walking, capturing the fake sun over me at 414 Vine Avenue, 414 and a half Vine Avenue. And that's nowhere. I'm just reminding you about the timestamps if you need an ongoing example. I've already established what is this unnatural environment. And all I'm doing is pointing out to you what's the unnatural behavior of those in that environment as I've exposed it to you. All right, so as you have that aha moment about what is not possibly the sun, as the sun has been defined for us, that's why I refer to it as the fake sun, because that's not the sun that we read about in our science books. All right, that NASA is telling about how it operates. That's not the sun. This is the fake sun. That's why it's referred to that, because that's exactly what I have exposed. It's unnatural. This is a lie. All right, the fallacy of how this environment operates, how it works. And then you're looking at what is something that's in your face and you just weren't paying attention to it, because as you're witnessing it where I'm at, the dots are going to collect for you. All those synapses start sparking in your mind because you know that that's not the sun over you, especially when you pay attention to the detail. The fake sun over me at a specific address in Ontario, California. How is it ever over you in whatever state you're in, whatever country you're in? All right. That's speaking to what is, it's not going to be the natural environment over you. I'm just happening to capture what's demonic over me. That's not how this is working. It's revealing what's going on in this world. Okay. 42485Y2. And there's a reason why you were lied to about it. While I was lied to about it. 5SSV349. And I just want to point out the target individual that is subject to such an environment, you know, if they become aware of it, you are in a closed off galaxy. You're by yourself. Everyone is targeting you. And that's traumatic and terrorizing in and of itself, to realize how an environment is acting in such an absurdly, abnormal way, which you might not have noticed before. But then when everyone's stalking you and you're subject to all this terrorism, and then you're looking at the sky, you're like, what the hell is this? That is traumatic. Okay. And that's the type of thing, by the way, that can make you think you are losing your mind. By the way, this is satanic.
It is designed that way. I want to be clear. Understand that. It's designed to make you think that way. Satan is a liar. Satan is a liar. And you're going to prosecute Satan for lying, for targeting you, using a government and a people to do it. 7VYJ040. License. That's the very thing that is designed to devastate you. 7STR411 to trick you into thinking you're crazy, you're losing it. All right. But you have common sense and you have scientific facts and you hold on to what it is that you're paying attention to. And even if you're questioning what you're looking at, document it to assure you of what it is that you're witnessing. I'm not questioning. Well, I know exactly what it is and everybody else sees it as well. But I want to be clear because I'm advocating. This is what the target individual is suffering in silence. And there's that very criminal conduct, that very malicious and wicked and treacherous system is used against them to defame them. That is why you're going to sit in federal prison. That's why I will take your business. I will drain your pockets, not because I want your money, but because you don't have a right to operate a business and terrorize someone else. FedEx. I will drain your pockets and your name is not too large to cease from existence. You won't be doing business in California and it'll be a matter of what is worldwide news as to why. That's why. And you'll be prosecuted just like any other third party such as 7VYJ040, a sex offender, FedEx, a sex offender. You will find a way under federal law to hold companies accountable for that type of terrorism. 7YOU418, 6ZZ7142. It is currently 10:24 a.m. 5TLT805. Alrighty, and all I'm doing is, this is the entity that was all night long. So you're as easily as it is to accumulate a bunch of people, thousands of vehicles driving by, you're talking about ongoing molestation, creating an ongoing light show. This is harassment on an unfathomable level of what is entirely demonic. It's harassment, it's terrorism, and it's also sexual violence. That's what these third parties are engaging in as I am naming them. 6DON619 group stalking is no anonymous criminal activity whatsoever. 7MON064 at 516 Fern Avenue, where the Ontario International Airport is flying over. Not flying over, by the way, the Ontario Senior Housing Partner at 280 North Lemon Apartments, where the fake sun is originally placed, where I'm at this time at the Ovid Family Community Library. That's the sex offender and the terrorist, the Ontario International Airport. 7WFY973 is not coincidentally crossing path as an entity is flying over by planes. There's no plane taking off all over Fern Avenue. You're not rising in elevation because you're just taking off. You're stalking. There are no planes taking off over here. And you're also paying attention where that you can very easily understand what the Ontario International Airport is engaging in, stalking the commercial airline planes. They're doing it in the specific environment. You're running down the same analytical checklist. And it's revealing a very disturbing stalking system. Demonic activity. You have the demon possessed who are flying airplanes and stalking somebody. Okay? Stalking the wrong person because I'm documenting. I'm going to tax you. Meaning, but I'm using, that's in the vernacular, meaning you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay severely because you cannot quantify that level of stalking, which is, again, supposed to drive the target individual crazy. You're going to pay for that because of your intent to terrorize in that regard. The pattern of conduct is supposed to terrorize to that degree. Understand that. And you're going to pay for that. As it goes to what the entity is using, commercial airline planes, using business establishments, using whatever Satan has at its disposal. Satan is using Amazon Prime. Satan is using Southwest Airlines. Satan is using FedEx. Did you know that? They bow down to Satan. They're a bunch of demons. All right? Amazon Prime is nothing other than a means of identifying a company. Guess what a company is made up of? People. Those people serve Satan. And they want to make $1 while they are terrorizing American citizens. Many of those American citizens are demon possessed, such as 8WMM705, group stalking. All right, but there are those that they are targeting that are not of that condition, and that's why they're being targeted and defamed and kidnapped and silenced in the United States of America. That's how the entity is engaging in this conduct. And then carrying on like they're a bunch of free, like we're in some free society. They're a bunch of minions that are free, and they need to be restrained, and that's what I'm working on. All right, you will be snatched out of an Amazon Prime vehicle and put into a mental institution. You're not hiding behind any company name. You don't have any protection. You don't have any protection under the law where you're targeting an American citizen. Okay, because you're prosecuting the state. The state is going to be fully prosecuted to the nth degree. And the state is using those company names and more. I'm just giving you examples of what they are engaging in targeting somebody. 7RXZ919.
And I believe these are, yeah, I read these already. These are on the third parties all night long, engaging in group stalking, directed light inside of a vehicle. This is impunity. They will go to a mental institution, I.I.S 592, crossing path. And that's the Ontario International Airport flying over the street and not flying over the 280 North Limit Apartments. But also the fake sun is nowhere near the 280 North Limit Apartments as well. That's why it's ongoing. The Ontario International Airport is a group stalker, which I've already established. The third party at 630 North Fern, 24490K1, 7KHJ732. Engaging in terrorism all night long, molesting with directed light, while these demons, just like that third party whose license plate I read, the 8JI, speaking to what is impunity and crossing path with the airport using a plane. And I'm speaking to what is a mental institution. She belongs there. She makes a U-turn and drives back up the street. That's demonic pacing. That's a psychopath. All right, with the spirit of Satan on them. And that spirit of Satan is speaking to what is criminal conduct that they're engaging in. And this is what 630 North Fern in Ontario, California. This is what 325 West G Street. The demon whose images I'm capturing while she's group stalking with a minor child getting out of the passenger side of the car, while I'm revealing what is, again, that directed light that's occurring while she's engaging in that. That's why you're catching my attention, because you're not just getting out of the car, Satan. You're targeting me. So I'm going to document you since you want that attention. And I'm also documented what is the pattern of conduct that remains underway. Oh, this is wonderful. This is wonderful. With children in the vehicle engaging in that pacing conduct, group stalking under the fake sun. So I'll show you that as well. This is 8JIF 592 at 325 West G Street where the fake sun is present. And group stalking with the entity that's flying commercial airline planes, children in the back seat while she's engaging in that conduct. This is a very unstable psychopath. This is demonic. And she's engaging in that conduct with minor children in the car. So that's relevant to the terrorism that she's engaging in, and just doing so with children in the back seat, okay? Giving them their sippy cups while targeting another person. It is 10:30 a.m. and capturing the fake sun over 325 West G Street as I stand. Moving it over all those venues, 414 North Vine, the Ontario International Airport, following around this psychopath pacing up and down the street with kids. This is Satan that has no business being anywhere around children. Okay, and engaging in criminal conduct. That's their focus, their group stalking, and you know that because that's why directed light and a fake sun is over me. And you happen to be engaging in it while you have a brand on your vehicle, FedEx. You happen to be engaging in it while you have children in your back seat. This demon right here, and all of the pattern of conduct is underway, and you're going to prosecute accordingly. Okay, it is, again, 10:31 a.m. This is P.O.C. The sun is nowhere near the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library at 10:29 a.m. where this entity engaged in kidnapping, as I documented on June 16, 2022, where this demon is pacing up and down the street and the airport is flying over the street as she's doing so under what is not possibly the sun is nowhere near the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. Where that entity, that's her. She's the same entity engaging in kidnapping, and she is still to date stalking. Engaging in waging false allegations is what those demons did. Engaging in what is monitoring and group stalking with the police is what those demons did. 8MUW199. That's everything that they did, and she's still doing so, and she's doing it while she's in the custody of minor children. You're going to neutralize that threat in every way. Not just one that she's unlawfully posing to an American citizen, but to those minor children who she's in the custody of. She has no business being around children. I'm revealing what are closeted psychopaths. They are ticking time bombs. And you know that by the pattern of conduct. While they're monitoring and group stalking all night long and directed light is flashing inside of my car. That's a psychopath that would engage in that sort of conduct. This is what a population is doing on behalf of a government. And as I'm capturing the fake sun over 325 West G Street, not only is it not over the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, like it was at 10:29 a.m. at the Ovid Family Community Library, it's nowhere near the Rancho Cucamonga Courthouse at 8303 Haven Avenue. It's nowhere near Chino's in Chino, California. It is nowhere near what is the Upland Public Library, as I've documented. This is speaking to what is a specific placement of that light source, all right? This is P.O.C, and this is the psychopath. I'm going to go ahead and document this. Hi! While they're group stalking. That's the psychopath of Satan. That's the psychopath that is the demon possessed, and they're monitoring under the fake sun. P.O.C. Union Pacific, also audible activity under the fake sun where these demons are standing out in relevant position. License plate 7KWF144. The same exact pattern of conduct is underway. They're crossing path under the fake sun, and these demons are standing at the corner monitoring, and including children in that pattern of conduct is what you're looking at having pleasant conversation while they're engaging in absolutely conduct, revealing their unstable mindset, and surrounded with evidence. And so Satan's personality is just to act like it's not happening while they're being documented. That's a psychopath as well. All right. It is is, again, 10:33 a.m. where that fake sun revealing what their condition is and the criminal conduct that they're engaging in, which is irrefutable, also under science, but and also as a matter of common sense. So what you're paying attention to are the personality defects of psychopaths that are group stalkers. All right. It is, again, 10:33 a.m. This is P.O.C. on Sunday, July 24th, 2022. Alrighty, capturing what is pacing conduct. You've got demons that are pacing on the sidewalk and then pacing in the sky space. You see Southwest Airlines flying directly over Fern Avenue, while these demons are pacing around. That is walking to the venue. That is 325 West G Street. And you see the demon with this license plate that I captured already, 8JIF 542, I believe, in operation for communication device. 8JIF 592. All right. And doing so while the Ontario International Airport, again, Southwest Airlines, flying over, fake sun, it's over me at 325 West G Street. And what you're looking at, these are not people that are walking by. These are demons that are crossing path. They're group stalking. And they're in that specific environment. And it is impossible that the sun would be there, and also the directed light. I've literally captured the patch of directed light on this demon's house before. And directed light remains on the house right now. And I'll go ahead and take a picture of that. And that is where Southwest Airlines is group stalking with this third party, 8JIF 542, in operation for communication devices inside of the venue at 325 West G Street, while they are pacing in and out of that venue. That's the use of where you live. That's why the people of the state they don't have any shelter for being documented where you live. 78RF 910, amplified plane activity, directed light, flashing. Alrighty, flashing directed light while these demons drive on the street, and 325 West G Street pacing in and out of the venue. Excuse me, this is public information, public property. I'm not paying attention to your car. You're the one that's paying attention to me. Take your crazy self in your house and mind your business, minion. I'm gonna stand here on the grass where I can. Ain't nobody paying attention to your car. Go ahead. Go ahead, because you're harassing me. You're the one focused on me. I can stand on the grass all I want. Nobody's paying attention to your car. 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 I'm standing here on the grass like I have a right to. You're paying attention to me, and you're find a better reason to engage in harassment. You're going to federal prison. That's what's going on. Yeah, you are. I can stand here all I want. Nobody's paying attention to your car. Nobody is paying attention to your car at all. She's over here monitoring with Tracy Banks, counseling another third party. So let me show you this. I can stand on the grass all I want. Nobody's paying attention to your car. Let's go. Nobody's paying attention to your car. Don't touch me. Come on, let's go. Let's go. This is Tracy Banks who's monitoring with them, talking to her like she's counseling her. Oh, don't pay attention to her. And again, that's a third party who's group stalking, 6YOX838, talking about get away from her car. I'm standing on the grass, not touching her car. I'm not concerned about her car. She's engaging in what is audible activity in operation of her communication device in directed light, and knows that she's being documented, all right? And Tracy Banks is monitoring with them, walking up to a third party instead of, well, you already know what this third party is engaging in, walking up to a third party and, oh, you're right. This is what the third party is stating, as though Tracy Banks is counseling her. Tracy Banks has the magic words. Tracy Banks is monitoring. She's engaged in what is monitoring with these third parties, and they're engaging in that conduct together, all right? That's nothing but a minion that's engaging in what is harassment. And I'm standing on the grass, which is public property, not paying attention to her raggedy car. She's the one that's monitoring me and pacing up and down inside of the property. And let me be clear, yelling out loud, get away from her car, when I'm not touching her car, I'm not even looking at her car. The entity is engaging in what is activity creation. And it's not coincidental while Tracy Banks is crossing paths. Understand that. Okay, they're monitoring together. Then Tracy Banks is approaching them and whispering to this third party who's harassing me, and engaging in that conduct together under the fake sun and in directed light. All right, again, I just want to break that down for you. It is 10:38 a.m. This is P.O.C. All of this is occurring under the fake sun, and Tracy Banks is fully engaged in that P.O.C. And this is directed light that's on the side of her house. Her house being 325 West G Street. License 4U88724. This is P.O.C. The fake sun is over the vehicle. 8XWF900. This is Holt and Fern Avenue where the fake sun's over the car. Alrighty, this is indeed the P.O.C. engaging in what is, while this minion is harassing me at 325 West G Street, and this is harassment while the entity is stating that it is your fault while they're monitoring you and they're hostile because you're documenting it. And this is the fake son that's right over me in the vehicle at Fern Avenue and Hope Boulevard. All right, and this is again 10:41 a.m. I'm already inside of the Open Family Community Library. The entity has kept it over the side of the venue, keeps it over the entrance. It's over the stairway because that's supposedly sunlight over the elevator. Not when it's over me at Fern Avenue and G Street, where a third party is monitoring with another third party that's harassing me, where the fake son's over their venue, and they're engaging in what is blaming you as you're documenting it. 8XMP464. Again, it's nothing but audible activity, and it's coming out of the mouth of a third party that's heavily documented, always present while the police are stalking by helicopter and stalking with light activity. All right, that's exactly what it means. It means nothing, but it's prosecution for what is harassment as an entity. 8YCZ277 D487SO 57289H3. Nothing but hostility because you're documenting their sickness. You're unstable. You're a group stalker. You're doing that against one whom you're blood related to, and you have serious mental issues while you're caught in that. As a matter of fact, all right? This is P.O.C. It is currently 10:42 a.m. Monitoring with 325 East B Street. That's what that was. 4ASA681. This is P.O.C. 04658R2. Crossing path at Shiro's Liquor. This is what these demons do as you arrive, and then they cross path with directed light. It is in the fake sun I'm showing you at Shiro's Liquor, where I'm present here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I walk to the library. The fake sun leaves to be over there as I arrive, coming from the venue of 325 West G Street, where she's harassing, and where this third party operating this vehicle is monitoring and harassing as well. Okay, that's a serious federal crime, harassment by the state. That's group stalking, and doing so while also stalking on behalf of the police and the Ontario International Airport that's flying over. All of this evidence, and you're engaging in what is harassment. That's part of that terrorism by a bunch of demons. All right, and that includes Tracy Banks. You already know what's up with her. She's heavily documented, and that's a sicko. She's very, very unstable. The fake son remains over me, and she operates her vehicle leaving 325 West G Street, and she's monitoring and engaging what is harassment, blaming me, while this demon at 325, I just want to be clear, the 325 West G Street is supposedly walking back and forth to a car as though they're again, the outward conduct, they don't even know I'm there. They're not concerned with what I'm doing. As I'm walking on the grass, which is public property, not paying attention to her raggedy car, she finds a means to create audible activity because I'm walking. Understand what that demon is actually doing. Yelling and having no actual reason, but just yelling about anything. Excuse me, can you not step on the rocks on the sidewalk? That's essentially, what? What are you talking about? I can step on whatever I want on the sidewalk. That's how it's audible activity creation. That's why she did that, because I was walking. All right. And it's clearly harassment. And then as I'm walking on the grass, which she has no control over, no property control at all. You have no right to tell me where I can walk. And then because I'm walking there, I'm not paying attention to your car because I'm walking there. No, it's P.O.C. But it's the pattern of conduct occurring under the guise of harassment. So you're supposed to be distracted by that harassing speech and not paying attention to the fact that they're monitoring it. That's a demon that was stalking with activity. Tracy Banks is walking out and she's monitoring with them. Tracy Banks continues harassing me while she's now I can't park. They're monitoring again. This is a psychopath. Oh, now I can't park there because you're going around blaming people about yes, you are. That's what you're doing right now. This is what she's yelling about in her car. She's yelling, she's monitoring. That's why the airport's flying over Shiro's Liquor. That's Southwest Airlines. Okay? That's P.O.C. I want you to see pictures of this psychopath. Very, very sad. That is, again, the third party that I was monitoring with 325. It's the same pattern of conduct. This demon, I just happen to know her name. I don't need to know this demon's name. I know her address. Her license plate, which is captured in images and recited multiple times, 6YLX. With the rest of that license plate, her address is 325 West G Street. This demon, Tracy Banks, is doing the exact same thing. The fake son follows over the vehicle. I'm at Shiro's Liquor. Southwest Airlines is flying over in that specific environment, and that's exactly what 325 West G Street was doing while she is yelling about walking on grass and then somehow trying to make some connection to her car, which there is none. All right, she was monitoring, and she's harassing while doing so. And then while I'm speaking to, I'm going to continue standing in the grass. Don't be distracted by some demon who's stalking you, and they're mad because what they're doing is in a secret. 9BEN723. She pulls out her phone as that's a threat to engage in criminal summoning, and she'll go to federal prison for that. There's so many grounds of what she's going to federal prison. But you're talking about what are the multiple grounds? She's literally engaged in all of them. Tracy Banks, again, no hope whatsoever. This is you're talking about a whole other level. You're a psychopath, period, engaging the P.O.C. To do it against your own child, understand this is demonic, and this was the intent to sacrifice your own flesh and blood. You belong in a mental institution for the rest of your life, to be honest with you. But this is speaking to, well, there is no but. This is speaking to the very unstable individual that is Tracy Banks, but she's a third party that the state of California is monitoring in concert with. That's why the airport's flying over the fake sun that's over my head at Shiro's Liquor, moving as I move from 325 West G Street, which was harassment as you're witnessing it, which Tracy Banks participated in. She's not coincidentally walking across the street. She's monitoring with her, and that demon was stalking with activity under the guise of harassment. You're not distracted by any of the tactics that Satan's using. As I began moving, that's why she started yelling about something, anything that she could think of. Don't walk on the grass. I can walk on the grass all I want, Satan. That does not make anybody focus on your car. And then she's jumping into, oh, you're recording. How do you know? You weren't even looking at me. You're over here at the front of the street at the corner. How you know what I'm doing with my phone? While I'm capturing the sun and directed light and capturing Southwest Airlines flight up, because you're focused on me. That's why, Satan. That's why. And it still does not make this grass private property. I'm going to walk wherever I want. That was harassment. Understand that, by a demon who is stalking. All right, license 5YQC124, and it's pathetic. All right, and Tracy Banks is loitering at the Shiro's Liquor because she's a group stalker, and she's listening to the truth that I speak. That's why the fake sun remained over her car that I'm inside of, leaving from that street where it at no time was over Shiro's Liquor early in the morning, no time in between Metro 102 and Ontario Town Square and the Ontario City Hall and the Ontario Senior Center, over the side of the Ovid Family Community Library, and then to remain over that building already as 10 o'clock where I enter. That's why it remained over me at 325 West G Street and at none of those places, because that's not the sun. It's the identification of what is a state system that I'm subject to. And the reality is that this demon, who I'm blood related to, has nothing to do with what is her demon possession. That's her condition. While she's engaging in criminal conduct against one that she's blood related to, she's the unstable psychotic one. She is. And that's the truth. I don't have to engage in calling names. Everything that I'm alleging and everything that I'm expounding upon is based on that criminal activity, which is a matter of objective evidence. That's why. All right. And so you're talking about what's a psychopath that now, as a result of what is harassment by a bunch of demons, oh, no, I can't park there because you're going around and this is a sicko. You're trying to blame me while I'm documenting you. Don't ever do not be deterred by Satan. It's pathetic. All right. Like I said, this is the P.O.C. It is currently 10:49 a.m. This is evidence of, she's monitoring right now while these demons are pacing up and down Hope Boulevard. And how do you know what they are? Because the fake sun's over me. It's not the natural environment. And they are demons that are pacing in that environment. That's how you know their condition and you know what they're doing. Okay, and you're talking about what is, literally their pants are all the way down their ankles with regard to the evidence. That's exactly how you know what's going on. And then you're going to analyze what's coming out of the mouth of a demon. You're trying to blame the targeted individual. And this is what's going on in everyday life of a targeted individual when you are out on the outside. And I mean an objective observer, not a minion, not a corrupt government that wants to defame the targeted individual. I mean an objective observer on the outside, and you're just looking at chaos. You're looking at what is harassment that their target individual is subject to, but you don't know that it's a pattern of conduct. You don't know that these are demons that are engaging in this concerted system as one, all right? It just looks like it's dysfunction that follows them everywhere they go. And who is that blamed on? The targeted individual. When they are liars. They're liars, okay? And this is the reality of that system. And Tracy Banks is loitering. Let me take a picture. Let me show you. She's just sitting in the parking lot while demon after demon after demon, while she's on her communication device monitoring with all of them. 7FBJ003, just hanging out under the fake sun, hanging out in directed light, hanging out group stalking. All right, 9BEN723, 5YQC124, 6NPW544, 89808F3. And the Ontario International Airport, Southwest Airlines specifically, flying over the Shiro's Liquor where the fake sun is now present. Alrighty, you're looking at what's demonic pacing. Getting out the car, walking to the trash can, that's a demon that's pacing back and forth, all right? And they're crossing path in doing so. They're under the fake sun. That's 9BEN723. All right, and this is, again, the reality of what Tracy Banks is engaging in. This is a demon. This is predatory conduct. This is psychopath-level criminal activity, and she's threatening doing so with absolute strangers, okay? Those whom she's targeting, and I'm her flesh and blood. This is a psychopath. She's engaging in this conduct with the people of the state. That's the group. That's the reality of her identity. And that's who is engaging in what is harassment with them. Flashing directed light across Shiro's Liquor as I walk into, and 9BEN drives off. All right, that's the third party that Tracy Banks is monitoring with. All right, so I just want to point that out to you. And that's the minute you see him walking to the trash can, that demon gets in a car, drives off, and directed light flashes all across Shiro's Liquor as he does so. That's a demon. That's a stalker that knows who I am. That's group stalking. That's the state of California, in other words. Many of whom I documented this morning engaging in this conduct all night long outside of the, while I'm inside of the vehicle. This third party, let me show you this Latino male.
Directed light inside of Shiro's Liquor. 8RZM082 is driving into Shiro's Liquor to engage in the same conduct. It's one thing it's one demon after another after another. This is what they concentrate inside of a vehicle where I'm at. They're concentrating it inside of Shiro's Liquor. This is pacing. This is demonic pacing. So this is demonic pacing. That Latino male drives off. This female with this white Acura drives in. 8RZM082. This is terrorism as I'm documenting it. These are the minions that are engaging in this conduct, opening up the door, directed light across all of the, I've shown you this already in video and images. This is P.O.C. These are demons. All right, this is terrorism while they're group stalking under the light source.
What are you recording?
Who the fuck are you talking to?
Like, why are you recording this?
What? I can stand here all the... How do you know what the fuck I'm doing on my phone? Why are you focused on me with directed light? Minion, go in there stalking at a liquor store. Get your life. Get your life. You need to get your life, Satan. Get your life. That's P.O.C. He's monitoring directed light while he opens and closes the door and focused on me. What is it? What are you recording? You know exactly what I'm recording. You're group stalking, directed light. These are minions that are mad. Excuse my language. I'm dealing with demons. And that Latino male is on the cameras inside of that Shiro's Liquor. Okay? So they're monitoring with these minions that are patrolling on Holt Boulevard. Let's see. 6B79905. All right, so I'm gonna prosecute that federal prison. I want to make sure. So now I'm gonna make sure I do clearly record you. You said you're gonna whip my ass, right? You said who's gonna whip my ass? Who's gonna whip my ass? No, that's what you said. Go ahead and report it. You're over here stalking in a liquor store, though. You need to get your life. 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 I do have a job putting demons like you away. That's where yeah, you're a demon. You're a stalker. You are group stalking. He's threatening me inside of your store. No problem. He's stalking inside of your store. I'm closing it. It's closing. I closed it already. This is P.O.C. Go ahead. That's the store owner, 6NPW544. This third party with the Acura is engaged. He's uttering a threat while he's walking in, something about whoop your ass or something like that. So I wanted him to repeat that. And he said, "Oh no, I'm not talking nothing." It's they're monitoring inside of Shiro's Liquor. 89808F3 is part of that. Crossing path with direct light. 8RZM082 is that third party that I'm referencing. The third party that's saying close the door when I'm not holding the door. It's like a slow sort of. It doesn't close automatically. I'm standing in front of the door. He's monitoring. Understand, everything that they're saying is monitoring conduct. 6NPW544 is monitoring with them. It's his liquor store, directed light. The fake sun is over it. License 1545819, bus 2346. Omnitrans is a part of the P.O.C. as well. This is the minion that is engaging in directed light inside of their liquor store while minions like 8RZM082 enter in. Alrighty, and again, that's 8RZM082. That's P.O.C. They're monitoring with, again, 6NPW544. These threats of physical harm, which is what he's stating. They're molesting with directed light while that demon opens and closes the door. And then that demon that's group stalking is then engaging in what is threats of harm. And because they are hostile to your documentation, you're a whole psychopath. You're stalking. All right, that's 8RZM082. That's P.O.C. He's going to federal prison. That's P.O.C. 8GLV118. And it's not just him. That demon, the female that's driving that car, they're monitoring together. Okay? And they're engaging in demonic pacing. They're driving in and out of the parking lot. They're pacing. All right? It is 10:56 a.m. And this is all occurring under that specific light source. So I want to make sure I capture that again. Alrighty, it is 10:56 a.m., 10:57 now, and the light source remains in the same position directly over my head where I am. If you'll remember, this is common sense. I'm nowhere near Victoria Gardens. This is where the entity's keeping the fake sun when I'm in Ranch Cucamonga at Arrow, Route, and Haven. You'll recall this. This has nothing to do with the natural environment. These are demons. This is a specific environment. Yesterday we went to Stater Brothers in the morning. There is no sun over that Stater Brothers parking lot. You also know that that's not the sun because that same parking lot at Stater Brothers, it's present there after 6 p.m. after coming from Ranch Cucamonga. I documented that the other day. I documented that a wealth of times. But this is speaking to what is a specific environment where you are listening to harassment by a specific population. These are third parties. These are the demon possessed. These are demons that I'm encountering, and it's occurring under what is it that they all have in common? They're in this specific environment, this unnatural environment. And so I want to make sure that I point that out. This is a third party, for example, inside of the liquor store. He's not concerned about the door being open. He's not concerned about an argument. They're monitoring to that. The fake son is over his liquor store. He and himself is the same one that stole my change and then flashing direct light across his liquor store, across his liquor in the back of his store. 6B79905 is crossing path. He is monitoring while I am addressing this third party. It's not a matter of closing the door. Don't do that in my store. Understand, they're monitoring. They're in this environment. So I want you to understand that this is the reality of the system. You have what are third parties that are group stalking inside of his liquor store. You are also group stalking inside of your liquor store, and you're doing so while you're not operating in a legitimate business. What do they have in common? The impossible placement of a light source directly over me at 325 West G Street, where a demon is harassing me while I'm documenting that. Okay, and doing so while I'm inside of the vehicle with license 4WON432, harassing me inside of the vehicle while I'm documenting that. All right, outside of Shiro's Liquor, 410 East Holt Boulevard, while harassing while I am documenting it under the fake sun. It's the same exact pattern of conduct. No, there's no sun that's over Stater Brothers this morning, contrary to what I documented 24 hours ago. There is no sun that's over the Paul Bryan Library. It's over Shiro's Liquor. It's remaining here. There is no sun over Ovid Family Community Library, where I'm documented already present there. So you're understanding, again, how an entity wants you to focus on what they're, so in other words, by numbers, you have a whole bunch of people who are, in fact, they're actually harassing you while they're monitoring, and you're documenting it. If that's what the target individual is doing, I'm documenting, and these are hostile demons. And that's a specific federal charge for the state and for the people of the state. In other words, you sit in federal prison. That's a threat to your life. You're already a stalker. You are a demon, and you are harassing someone that's documenting it. You'll sit in federal prison for that. That's what these demons in the white Acura are going to get. All right, so I want to be clear that what it is that you're paying attention to. Demons act, Satan acts by numbers. So if you're claiming that everybody is stalking you and you don't have any evidence, the issue is the target individual. You're a paranoid schizophrenic. You're out of your mind. You're hallucinating. If everyone is yelling at you and running into encounters with you, but for documentation speaking to a pattern of conduct, you are the problem. You're the one that's going around blaming people. You're crazy. You're just aiming your camera at folks. You're losing it. This is what the target, and they're doing it based by numbers, because you have what? On the surface, a whole bunch of strangers that are taking issue with you. Automatically, the conclusion is that the problem is you, and it's not the pattern of conduct, which you don't have any documentation to establish that you're subject to. Understand the malice behind that. That's federal prison. All right, like I said, this is the entity that's acting as one, and that's why you're documenting. I'm showing you it is the P.O.C, and I'm showing you what are psychopaths. All I'm doing is breaking down for you what are the treacherous minions that are the demon possessed. They're not intelligent. It's not sophisticated. This is all I'm doing is breaking down for you, first of all, what's evil and criminal. Second of all, what is the malice behind these demons' conduct. You can't blame the target individual for being the issue. You can't. You can when you don't have evidence, but that's not what's going on here. And that's going to be relevant to how you're prosecuted. And the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, you already know that they're stalking at all times. But let me point out to you, they're group stalking crossing path on transit right now, which 6 NPW 544 and the demon driving the white Acura. That's why they're going to federal prison. The state that's threatening your life, the state that's group stalking where minions live, 325 West G Street, wherever it is that I'm going, 4WON432 Tracy Banks, wherever it is that I am at Shiro's Liquor, 6 NPW 544. The entity is, and where I'm not at, where you were seeing what's not the environment, Ovid Family Community Library, 215 East C Street. The entity is engaging in what is stalking on behalf of literally a demon-infected agency. Group stalking in helicopters and police vehicles. What is it that you will not be distracted by? What they all have in common. This is, again, a system of terrorism. This is how you are falsely, and I mean objective observers. I'm not talking about those who are facilitating this system to defame and kidnap the targeted individual. I'm not talking about I'm talking about those who are genuinely ignorant about this pattern of conduct and how an entity is engaging in what is in every regard. It's not just the fact that they're targeting you and monitoring and group stalking you. The entity also wants to make you an issue in every area of your life, making you an issue while I'm documenting you, and you can't deceive me. You can't trick me. There's nothing that you could say. I want you to hear this argument. I want you to hear what they're saying, because you're listening to Satan, and you are literally an unstable psychopath. While you hear what she's saying to her own, I'm her daughter, all right, her flesh and blood. That doesn't mean we have anything in common, though, other than what is DNA. And I want to be clear: the carnal, the flesh, that's nothing. All right, what your true family is are those whom you are in commune with regard to what is spiritual. I want to point that out to you, because spirit is what binds us, and it's deeper than blood. Your blood will throw you under the bus, literally. Your blood